Hello, everyone. Welcome. It is episode 110, and we're still here. We had a
Nice.
few technical bumps, which is why we're a little
Yeah.
bit late. But so apologies, Toy Mafia, who seems to have been here since 8:30 this morning.
Yeah.
The
Absolutely. Yeah. It
man
was all my
is a
fault,
legend.
but
It's all you,
I've
Pete.
kind
All
of
you. All
yeah. It
you.
is. It is. Yeah. Because I'm currently going through um redecorating the room and everything. Then I'm just in a bit of a mess. Don't have my normal setup. So yeah, this will have to suffice for now. But hopefully, in a month's time, it'll all be set up and permanent and ready
It'll
to
all
go.
be
So.
worth it in the end. That's the
Oh,
thing.
absolutely, mate. Absolutely, it will be. But yeah, I'm. Yeah.
Yeah. Cool beans. So look, we in the chat we got Toy Mafia, Andre, and obviously us. We're here. Um, so a month has passed, and we've actually got a fair bit. There's been quite a lot going on in the last month, which is quite nice.
That's the
Which is
yeah.
good.
That's the plan. That's how it should be working. So
Hmm.
um, yeah,
Yeah. So
it's been
it should be a good one today.
yeah. I think so.
Cool. So Pete, I'm a little bit pissed off because
So this.
this should also be my new this month, but it'll be my new whenever the fuck it decides to ship. But go on, Pete, kick us off. Tell us what you got. Really rub it in.
Yeah, but the thing is, you'll probably open yours before me because I haven't opened mine because I just left it. So yeah, we're talking about the Hot Toys Return the Jedi C3PO, which is MMS 701 and the 56th diecast figure. Um, so yeah, Ian's got his a UK reseller, and he got his invoice in before me. Mine was at 1/6 kit, and so I messaged Kit and said, "Oh, what's going on?" Because you're normally pretty on it, and they said that they'd run out of shipping boxes, even though this
Mm.
has a shipper, which is quite unusual for stuff from Kit because it comes direct from Hong Kong. So I was unusual to see that, but obviously they do ship
Mm.
it in an outer box as well. So I was like, yeah, I haven't even got my invoice yet. And Ian's like, yeah, you'll still get yours before me.
Yep.
And then I got the invoice a couple of days later, and yeah, this turned up
Mm.
yesterday, the day before, Tuesday, I think. So took about a week to come from Hong Kong. So yeah, but as I say, because I'm in complete disarray at the moment, it will stay in its shipper. It won't be opened. So technically, you might kind of have yours on. Well, you definitely will have yours on display first.
I fucking doubt
But
it the way it's going. Like, because
but yeah, looking forward to it. And he's going to be in my Jedi display because I've got a 3PO for A New Hope. I've got a 3PO in pieces for Empire, and so this will go on in the Jedi section. So as it's
I've just
meant to
ordered
be.
my Hessian bag to do the to do the Empire look.
Yeah, good man.
Yeah. Well, fuck it. Might as well. No fuckers buying anything. Like, so I might as well just cut the cunt up
No,
and do an Empire version.
yeah, it's not a good time to try and sell stuff, is it?
No, no. But I got
Even
I
though
got my
people are
invoice. Go on.
gone. No, just even though
I was gonna say,
people are finding it incredibly easy to put their hand in their pocket and shell out 600 quid for Jack Sparrow.
oh fuck yeah. Yeah, but that's mad. That's madness. Like, I can't be
Yeah, we'll
doing
get
that.
to that, but
It's
no,
yeah,
no.
yeah. No, I get this is the last figure I'm ordering from from any UK retailer. It's just not worth the aggro. It just
No.
takes far too long. Like, no disrespect to any of them, but you get sent the invoice, and then you get told it'll be 3 weeks after that. You're like, fucking hell. Like, all right then. But by the time you can get
Because
the
it comes on a
invoice,
slow boat from China,
fucking they're walking it by the fucking looks of it. But yeah,
yeah.
I mean, you don't even. The thing is, they won't even ship it until 3 weeks after you paid the invoice. So that's not even it
Right.
turning up. So that's why I'm like, actually, you'll probably have yours before me. You'll have yours up and in display.
Hmm.
Happened with Rex when I did it with Rex. It was we were,
Yeah.
I think I got the invoice while I was on the train back from Celebration, and then it was like another month
Okay.
before it even turned up. So it's like, and the thing is, like, it's not just the UK retailer side of things that annoys me. Like, as I've gotten more into 40k and doing other bits and pieces, I'm never going to stop collecting 6-scale stuff. I love it, but it
Mhm.
makes you appreciate how much of an arseache it is to even get a figure. Like, we said it for years. Like, it isn't
Yeah.
like anything else where you can just walk into a shop or you just order from a website and it fucking turns up. Like,
No,
you have to
no,
deal.
it's not.
You have to be dealing with the whole reseller fucking fiasco, like dickheads like Toys Wonderland.
Mhm.
You've got all that sort of shit where you're effectively ordering from what you think is a company. It's not really a company. It's some bloke in China who
No.
just has his mates queue up, or it's just been going to buy a load of shit. Like, it's not the same as
No.
any other hobby I've ever had, and it starts to get on your tits a bit. In the end, you kind of go, "Oh, fuck's sake!"
Yeah.
Like, the price of it is just getting so expensive that you think, if I'm spending, because see, what 3PO was probably about, it must have been, it was 260, I think, was the invoice amount,
Yeah.
and then you got the deposit on that, so you're pushing like 300 quid anyway, and you kind of
Yeah.
go,
I think I was
if I'm
close. I was
spending
probably
that
about
much,
270.
yeah. The thing is, yeah, it was about, I think it was about 260 I paid. I can't remember, yeah, it was about 260 odd, but
Mhm.
you've also got the deposit on that I paid such a fucking long time ago. I always forget about it, and I always forget to add it on. So I go, actually, I'm paying a fucking
Right.
fortune, and you kind of go,
Yeah. Yeah.
oh, hang on. Like, I need to double check the amounts because I'm not 100% sure, but I'm pretty sure it's something around that. And you just think, like, why the fuck am I
Yeah.
waiting? Why am I waiting all this fucking time? Like,
Yeah. I'm the same because Toys by an Agent had it on
mm,
for no more than that. A
yeah,
couple of days after it released for immediate
mm,
dispatch. So it's I don't know. I still seem to want to pre-order stuff, but
mm,
just in that tiny, tiny risk that it's something that. But even with that Vader, I mean, they've been all over the place, so you can pick them up.
yeah. Like, it
Yeah,
just doesn't seem worth it. The only stuff I've actually lately pre-ordered that I thought was worth it was like XO6 data because they sell out so quick. But
hmm
I'm not, paying through the arsehole for that either. Like, that was probably the easiest. That and ordering direct with Iconic were probably two of the
yeah,
easiest 6-scale purchases, which ran more like it would with a proper company than anything else. I pre-ordered it. They said it was going to be
hmm
released on this date. I got an invoice. I paid it. It was shipped straight away. That just seems to be how the rest of the world works. I don't know why it's any different with 6-scale.
yeah.
But
So
yeah, but that,
have you got Have you got Geordie coming from XO6?
yes, yeah, yeah. It's meant to be out
hmm
soon, but I've not had
Yeah.
an invoice yet. I think it's the next
Okay.
couple of months it's
Okay.
due, something like that. But yeah, I've got Geordie
Yeah.
turning up whenever that is, and then I
hmm
will just carry on pre-ordering their bridge crew really for
Yeah.
next gen. I'm not
Yeah.
really interested
hmm
in some of the other stuff. Some of the other stuff they've released lately, a little bit hit and miss. Because what was the other next gen? There was another next gen character they put up for pre-order, wasn't there?
Ro Laren.
Yeah, like what the fuck's that about?
Yeah. 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 Who needs her? Um.
I saw it go up for pre-order and I was like, oh, next gen. I was like, oh, Roe, Ensign Roe, like,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. I was like,
Yeah.
what?
I think I've got the slide later on.
Hmm.
So we can have a look then. But yeah, it's just
Yeah,
another like really random release that. Yeah, it's just to me it's
it's
just
weird.
slowing down the release of the stuff people actually really want.
Hmm. Yeah, get the bridge crew out of the way, then start fucking branching out into these weird, tertiary characters. Don't get me wrong. If they released an O'Brien, I'd be on that like flies to shit.
Yeah,
Like, I think that
there
would
was a
be
tease of
an
him.
excellent one. Hmm.
Um, did see on Ben's show on Sunday he had
Hmm.
um a like a teaser picture of O'Brien. It didn't look great, you know, obviously they can work on it. But yeah, he's definitely in the offing, as it
Yeah.
were. But it probably a Deep Space Nine version. But I mean, you know,
Yeah.
you,
Yeah, you can fudge that in.
it look yeah, it looked like it. I mean, I don't know because
Yeah.
obviously in next gen he wore a normal uniform, didn't he? Next gen uniform
So he wore a next gen uniform. He
or
wore the like all in one leotard, like when he first
yeah,
popped up. Because he's in.
yeah,
I started rewatching him because he's in the first episode. He's in the Farpoint episode,
hmm
and then he pops up
yeah,
pretty frequently. I think he gets the full proper uniform like everyone else in that. I can't remember.
yeah. Because I think the picture I saw, he was in a sort of an engineering type outfit, which I didn't know if that was
Yeah, which is
specific
more
to
of his
DS9 or not.
DS9 with the rolled up
Mm,
sleeves.
mm.
Yeah.
That's it. That's it.
Mm.
So, I mean, you know, you could still display it with the next gen. It wouldn't be an issue, but obviously, you know, and you know they're going to bring out the two versions, but it
Yeah.
might be a while before they do the next gen version. But
Mm. I mean, to be fair, they've got a lot
yeah,
of next gen characters that they probably want to focus on. You've got you've got you've got Engineer Thompson, who was in the background of about 3 episodes. So they're definitely going to make
yeah,
him.
yeah,
You know,
yep.
you'll have all of
I
that before
know.
we even get to the ones we want.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
mm,
It's
yeah,
it's frustrating, but we'll talk about it a bit later because
yeah,
I have got the row slide up, I think, and
mm,
yeah, I I'm getting a little bit pissed off with Exo 6 to be honest, but because they're giving me nothing at the moment. I mean,
yeah,
you've had a little teaser, but I've got you know
yeah.
from a original
Nothing.
series and Ruther Khan nothing, and there's not good news for Ruther Khan either. So
Mm,
big delays apparently for the Savick, and then they're not even put the actual the ones that people want up for pre-order
mm,
yet. So
yeah, not good.
I haven't got I don't know if you I haven't put a slide in for you. I mean, obviously you can just like copy paste my one because that's what Ian will hopefully be seeing in the next
Yeah,
month
mm.
by the next show maybe.
Yeah. I've
Um,
bought a few bits, but they've not even. But again, like no one wants to ship to me. They're not even. So I
what the
I
1.6
bought a
stuff you mean?
quill.
Or
Yep, I've got a quill
oh you did?
coming.
Oh yeah, you told me.
Um,
That's cool.
yep. So I've got that coming, but I need to message the guy because I bought that on the 28th, and I've not had seen hide nor hair of it. So I need to
Right.
message him see if he's even shipped it. Um, and then I paid off. Well, yeah, I paid off C3PO, so that should turn up
Yeah.
whenever they pull their finger out. And then I don't think I've got any other 6 scale bits that apart from Geordie's fairly soon, but other than that, there isn't
Yeah.
really anything coming up. I was hoping to sell some of the customs so I can buy a few other bits and pieces, but there
Mm.
isn't a lot
Mhm.
that I'm like really jumping out to get at the moment. I want to kind of finish off some of the Mando stuff, and luckily that's kind of getting a bit cheaper at the moment. Like I keep seeing, I want a Gideon, and I
Yeah.
keep seeing him floating around for
Oh, he's
about one
dirt
thirty.
cheap.
And
Yeah,
I
yeah,
don't understand
absolutely.
why. I don't get why he's so cheap because
No.
the figure's pretty good. He's a decent character. All right, he turns
Mhm.
up in a full Mando get up later on, but that doesn't even come with a head sculpt.
Yeah, no,
Like,
he's a bargain. I've
yeah,
been tempted myself on occasion with that sort of
mm,
price.
yeah. So
And in general, I think a lot of figures are getting cheap. I missed out
people are desperate to
on
get
a
rid of them.
Mysterio for
Mm,
120.
yeah,
You know, I'd have picked that up any day, but yeah, I missed out on that one. But
yeah,
yeah, I think it's it's a good time to be if you're in the market to buy second hand, not to sell.
no,
And obviously, you know, as the price of new stuff just seems to continually grow. Um,
mm,
you know, second hand is where you're going to be able to fill out your collection at the moment. I think, as
yeah,
people probably sell three figures off to buy one. By the
yeah,
way things are going, like everyone's lost their shit over that Paul Atreides, and
mm,
obviously the 4 pack of Jokers
mm,
and the Hot Toys Artisan um, uh, Jack Sparrow, and they're all £500 plus.
yeah, yeah.
Um, so
It's getting to the
yeah,
point now where like it's just yeah, it's just not worth it. And the thing is, I'm not seeing the value there. Like, they're great. Don't get me wrong. Like, they look
Yeah,
objectively,
yeah,
they look like
yeah,
decent figures. But
yeah.
it's just getting to the point where I'm like, no, it's not that I can't afford it. It's just I don't want to. I'd rather,
No, I
when I'm
no,
looking at
no, 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 no,
500 quid a
no.
figure, I'm looking at going, well, actually, there's other stuff I could buy for that. You know,
It's not.
like,
I still try and stick to um a £300 ceiling to be honest, because I think that's
yeah,
about the max of where they should be.
yeah.
And if
And even
someone wants
then,
to
that
charge me
300
more than
quid's
that,
got to be pretty special. Like,
oh yeah,
it's
yeah, yeah. No,
got to
I'm
be
not
pretty
saying that.
decent.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. But I think sort of unofficially that seems to be where my sort of my ceiling is. To be fair, I don't think I've got anything on
Mm.
pre-order that's over that amount. Um, so yeah, um, yeah, it's interesting times. So
Mm.
anyway, well, let's just give a shout out to the everyone in the chat before we carry on. So we've got obviously Toy Mafia first in the queue as ever. Thank you very much. Always been there for us. We've got Andre, we've got Calculated Comic Fan, we've got Mark Mitchell, Mark Pearson, Duffett. Good old Bad Fish. He says, "Great to see you, Bellends," which obviously, as everyone knows, is a term of endearment in the UK. So
It
thanks for
is.
that, mate. We've
Thanks, you
got
cunt.
Ben in here, Ben Thomas. Yeah. So that means you really love someone there. We've
Yeah,
got Clinton
exactly.
Martin. So yeah, we've got 12 people watching, and all those guys. So hopefully we'll get a few more in. If you haven't already, subscribe and like to the show. And yeah, so new releases. So we've got this. What's he called? The Umbra
I'm not
something
even
or
going to
other
try and pronounce it.
clone
It's
trooper.
the
So
yeah, the
as
yellow and black storm
yeah,
clone trooper.
so as far as I know, he's from. Is he from Jedi Survivor
Yeah,
or the Battlefront
no,
or
not Jedi,
something? I'm not
Battlefield.
Battlefield.
Yeah,
Okay,
Battlefront. Sorry.
so Battlefront,
Mm.
yeah. So yeah, a troop. I'm playing through. Was it the second one? I'm playing through Battlefront 2 at the moment, but I've not seen him.
Yeah, it's the
It might be
second.
the
Yeah,
first one. It is the second one. Okay.
I think it's the
Um,
second one. Yeah.
okay. Oh, maybe I just not got far enough. So anyway, he's a yellow and black clone trooper. It. I think he appealed to some of us purely because it's collecting weekly colours, and I think it's quite cool from that point of view. Came with 3 different heads, but it was kind of one of Hot Toys sort of limited, instant releases, which caused the whole world to lose their shit and drive the price of this thing through the roof. And everyone was posting pictures of old grannies and stuff coming out of the secret base
Secret
with
base.
one in their hands, like not having a fucking clue what they'd got in their hands, but knowing that they could sell it on for 3 times what they'd paid for it. So yeah, I mean, hopefully anybody that wanted this was able to get hold of one and not pay too much. But as I say, the price I saw recently on Toys by an Agent was 400 quid. Um, I mean, no way it's worth that ever.
The thing
Um,
I know you know I know I like my customs, but I look at this and I think I'd never pay 400 quid for it. A tin of spray paint and some masking tape,
yeah.
and you can do this. There's no reason for this to be as much as it is, other than the fact it's limited. And actually,
Mhm.
if you wanted one, all the parts in this are reuse, all of it.
Yeah.
There's nothing there that you can't get already. So you could, I've seen customs of this for years. Like it. So when I see it go up like this and the price is so huge, I'm just like, people have been doing this for ages. Like if you wanted one,
Mhm.
you really, really wanted one before the point that they were 400 quid, you could have saved yourself a shit ton of money and got someone to
Yeah.
knock you one up,
Yeah.
because they're not.
Mhm.
This isn't difficult to do. Like I said, all the parts are reused. Most of this, there's hundreds of files for it that you can get people to print. The hardest part is probably the little skirt thing, and I can't even remember the proper name for it. But other than that, the rest is
Mhm.
just pretty simple. So
Yeah.
yeah, I would just be knocking one up if I wanted one. Like,
Yeah, and
you
I and I,
just
and
buy
I
Cheap
don't know
Trooper
whether
and
or not
crack on.
people actually think it's that amazing, or whether it's just the look, the draw of it being a limited edition, and people hoping to make a bit of money on it. I
I
don't
think
know.
it's a bit of
It's
both.
not.
I think it looks cool,
Mm,
and then the fact that it's limited edition and people can go, "Oh, I've got it." But we've seen this shit happen countless times before. Remember when the only way you could get a Dark Side Anakin was because it was a Hot Toys exclusive.
yeah.
What did they used
Hmm.
to call it? It was a special name for it,
Toy
but
Toy Fair.
yeah, that's it. It was a Toy Fair exclusive,
Yeah.
and everyone was
Yeah.
losing
Yeah.
their shit. Everyone was painting
Yeah.
Sith eyes on their regular one. Um,
Yeah.
and then like 6 months later, they just released it as a normal release, and everyone cried about it. And they've done it a couple of times, so I wouldn't. If you haven't managed to get one, I wouldn't start paying over the odds for it. You'll get one
No.
eventually. Like, we've seen it before. We've seen it happen
Yeah.
before. We know it'll happen
Yeah.
again. So. But
Yeah. It's a
objectively, it's
bit.
a nice figure. Like, it looks good. I like the design.
Yeah.
I really like this as
I'd
well.
say the same. I'd say the same for these as well. So we've got
Yeah.
the Warriors of Future, Tyler on the top and Johnson underneath. Did you watch the film?
No, I've not seen the film.
Film's alright. It was on about the time they put these up for pre-order. It was on Netflix. I don't know if it's on there now.
Mm.
And it was, it was like a major. It was like, I think it was meant to be one of the biggest budget kind of Chinese movies that were made, and these guys, particularly the one at the top, is like a massive star in China. It's
Yeah.
okay. It's like a sort of dystopian future. There's this these aliens that have kind of taken over Earth, and this is them fighting back. But I mean, obviously they're just pretty cool looking mech suits.
Mm.
Um, and I objectively, I think they look really good as well. I wouldn't feel any need to have them in terms of them representing that film, because it
Yeah.
wasn't awful, but it was so forgettable. Um,
Yeah.
but I think obviously Hot Toys have done a really good job, um, basically putting these guys together, and
Mm.
I'm kind of hoping that they go a bit bargain bin, because I would definitely pick one up for under 200 quid. I think they're
The
260 at the
the
moment.
the tash on that bottom one looks fucking horrendous. Like,
But
what the fuck have Hot Toys done? It's like
yeah,
they've
yeah.
just got a permanent marker and gone. Other than that,
Um,
they look really good.
yeah. I mean, I'd probably display it with the face plate down anyway, so it wouldn't really
Mm.
bother me which one I got. I think the Tyler one seems to be, other places I've seen him, he's about £20 more, because I think he's more desirable in that market because of who he is.
Mm.
But I mean, to us over here, it's like, well,
Yeah, that make any
one's
difference.
got blue eyes, one's got red eyes,
Yeah.
and you're probably not going to have them lit up anyway, because you've got to faff about with bloody batteries and all that bollocks. Um,
Mm.
but yeah, I would definitely, if I see one for under 200, I might be tempted just to have as a really cool, um, mech suit figure, really.
Mm.
Lots of
Yeah,
cool
it does look
weapons
good.
and bits and pieces, and yeah. Um, but yeah, not really one for the kind of the home market, I think there, and
Yeah.
yeah, I think in terms of overseas, a lot of people will be watching these to see if they can pick one up for cheap further down the road. But yeah, I mean, I think they've done a good job. Maybe apart from that
Mm.
tash, but
Yeah. When I look at it, though, it's fucking horrendous.
yeah. So that's all I had down for coming out for new releases. So there's probably are more, but I think from the sort of um, the high end stuff, Hot Toys, I can't think of anything notable else that came out.
No, I think it's been little drips and
Um,
drabs of like third party stuff, but
yeah,
nothing really that
yeah, yeah,
was.
yeah.
Except we'd
Been a
only
few
flash it
bits.
up and go, yeah, it looks nice, and then we'd probably cut it off for a little bit, and then we'd move on anyway. So we might as well.
Exactly. Well, I got a
Mm.
special slide in there for you later, because I know that you really appreciate
Yeah.
the this particular character. So yeah, you look
Mm.
forward to that one. Um, yeah. So then I suppose we get to come in soon, and we'll talk about this is the kind of like the real talking point of the last probably 2 weeks now, isn't it? the artisan edition um, Jack Sparrow from Hot Toys. So they basically re-released the figure from the DX15 from
Mhm.
Dead Men Tell No Tales, which is a fantastic figure. That's the one I own. Always loved the head sculpt. I wasn't as much of a fan of the smirking one, but the stoic face, I think, is still one of the very best Hot Toys head sculpts. It's amazing. I took some like close up photography when I got it, and I
Mm.
really I think you'd find it hard to distinguish it from a still of the actor.
Yeah.
So fantastic figure. Um, Comes with so much cool stuff. So basically, from what I can see, they've kind of remixed it. So you've got a few items that were with the DX15. There's a couple of notable things that aren't. Like there isn't a you got the ship in the bottle, but you haven't got like a grog bottle that he came with, a
Mhm.
that you could drink from. Um, the weapons are the same. So they've added an LED lantern, which again is cool, but then you've got to find a way to have that lit up. And do you want to be opening up the cabinet, flicking the battery on? An
Yeah.
hour later, oh, the batteries are dead. So it's nice if you can get it all wired up and everything.
It's
Um,
good for
yeah,
photography, but not much else.
yeah,
Like,
no.
mm,
They've basically, I think, a good move, but be interested to see kind of how they come out. So they've gone with leather for the boots and the belts, which I think a lot of people will be happy with because a lot of people are calling for real leather other than instead of pleather. So that's a good move. And then there's a new base, so it's kind of so the original the DX06 long time ago from I think it was from On Stranger Tides. That came with the ship's wheel,
mhm.
and the DX15 came with a weird kind of like
It's
a
sharks and
prow of a
shit on it,
ship.
didn't it?
Yeah, and the zombie sharks
Yeah.
and everything, and it just didn't really work. So here, this looks like a bit of an amalgamation of the both. So you've got the ship's wheel, but you've still got this weird kind of bit of ocean and stuff like that. Which that only
Mm.
comes with the oceany bit, and it's got a chest on it that opens as well. Only comes with this artisan one, which is the fully rooted hair one, and the deluxe. The standard one just comes with the wheel. But to be honest, probably wouldn't use the other bit anyway. So
No.
and everyone loved the wheel from the DX06, and when the 15 came out, people were paying a lot of money for that wheel. So it makes sense for
Yeah.
them to bring that back out. Um, so yes, obviously the big draw of the artisan is that it's all fully rooted hair, and that includes the dreadlocks. So like people are saying, how are they going to do it? They're just going to fill it full of dirt and sweat, and I don't
Mm.
quite know how they're doing that because that's and and it looks kind of a bit. Well, I find dreadlocks really manky anyway, and obviously like looking at that at the back, it's like, ugh, that's
Yeah.
horrible. Um, but obviously this is the thing that people are paying the money for. So I'll just quickly switch to the deluxe is the one at the top there. Yeah,
Yeah.
so it's all the same apart from the fact that you've got all of the dreads are plastic sculpted, and there's a few like wisps of on the DX15 it was like that shiny doll hair, but as I
Yeah.
understand it, it is wool on the. It's only one strand I think or two strands, but people have
Yeah.
said that will be the better material on these
Yeah.
ones, so that's a plus. And then that's the standard there at the bottom. So just the wheel, but without the little beachy um, C bit and the chest.
I can't tell the fucking difference. I
Well,
cannot tell
it's
the difference.
basically just
Other than that
just that
bit
bit
on
of
the
blue.
base.
That's it. That's it.
Yeah.
So you've got 260 standard, 1/6 kit. This is and 300 for the deluxe. I think if you love Jack Sparrow and you haven't got the previous one, that 260 for the standard, pick it up. It's a fantastic
Yeah.
figure. Or even if you really want to pay 40 quid for a bit of C and a chest, which you kind of see there,
Mm.
um, and I think the lantern maybe. But I think if it was me and I didn't have the other one, I would be picking up this
Mm.
standard one because I think it's great. But if we flick back to here, so we're basically from a UK point of view, um, the UK resellers and some of the other guys on Facebook, the Toys on Fire and all that
Mm.
lot, basically you're looking at about £530 plus up to £100 shipping. So £600
No, ain't worth
for
that.
the rooted hair. So you're twice the price of the deluxe. Um, I don't see the value. I know that it's bragging rights and it's like, yeah, look at this, but um, £600 would never pay that
For
for one
600
figure.
quid, I want the tash done. I want the beard done. I want
Mm,
it all
mm-hmm.
rooted. I don't want mixed. I
Yeah,
don't want mixed plastic in there. I think the fact that it's dreadlocks works against it for trying to kind of turn around and
yeah,
argue the value. You can do
yeah,
that, and it will look effective with it being plastic. You know,
yeah. They look fine.
I can't.
They
I
look
can't
really
see a lot
good.
of difference. Like I'm looking at the old versions, I'm looking at this, and I'm going,
Mm,
I just don't see a lot of difference. And for me, I've always found the fascination with Jack Sparrow and Pirates of the Caribbean weird in a way. Like people talk about it in the
yeah.
same breath as like Star Wars, Star Trek, Lord of the Rings, things like that, and I'm like, I get they're popular, I get people like them, but
Mhm, mhm.
I just don't get what the fascination is. Like they're great
Yeah.
figures, it looks good, but I'm just like I wouldn't pay
Mm.
600 quid for it.
I, I
I'd struggle to
I
pay
love the first
260.
movie. Yeah, and a lot of people said why couldn't they've done a true Curse the Black Pearl version because they've never done
Mm.
that. It's his most iconic look. Some people might say I can't tell the difference, but basically it was a lot pared back. This one is just absolutely dripping in belts. He's got three belts. He's got trinkets everywhere and everything. And I think the Black Pearl one was a lot. Um, that's a cleaner look, and that's kind of what
Mm.
I've sort of customized my one to look like that. Um, the first movie is brilliant, but certainly the franchise does not hold up to those other ones you've mentioned there. I think it kind of Davy Jones is quite a good character in the second movie, but after that, I think it really tails off. But again, and beyond this, it's interesting to see that obviously Disney have. We never thought we'd see when Johnny Depp was in the middle of all these court cases and stuff. You never would imagine that there would have been another figure come out of him. But obviously he's come through that, and um, there weren't any charges. A lot of information came out. A lot of things were done on either side, but that weren't
Mm.
nothing to be proud of. But obviously, they've kind of they must have had to have his agreement to
Mm.
release this. So it's interesting, isn't it? And it does open up the possibility of him returning as Jack, I suppose. I don't-
Mm. Tumble Dust comes up with a point. Wouldn't a fully rooted sculpt of Jack Sparrow with the mustache and beard rooted be almost $600 on its own? No, because this isn't a fully rooted sculpt. He's wearing a great fuck off hat. You're not even sculpt. You're not even
Mhm.
rooting the whole thing. You literally anything with a hat that has
Mm,
hair. You're not doing. You're
yeah,
doing. You're doing. You're not doing near enough the same amount of work. Like I've done bits and pieces. Now I hate
yeah,
rooting hair, and I'm shit at it.
yeah,
But if
yeah.
you've got something wearing a hat or a bandana or anything like that, fuck me, it makes
Mm-hmm.
life so much easier because you're just fixing
Mm-hmm.
it under that. Then so no,
Yeah,
I don't think it would
yeah,
be.
and the artisan does come with a cloth bandana, mate. So that's got to be worth a good couple of $100.
Oh
Um,
yeah, yeah,
I
hundred
think,
percent. Yeah, it's
yeah,
very hard for those
I
kids to cut
think
that cloth that
if
small.
you if you, I think the compare it to the in-art Gandalf, which probably in my mind is the best rooting example of rooted hair that we've seen in recent times on
On a
a
mass production, yeah,
commercially released fig. Yeah, yeah. Um, so and obviously that you know secondary market the prices have gone through the roof, but that was about 350 if you pre-ordered it and got it from new.
yeah.
So um, there's every reason to expect that you should have a rooted um, moustache and beard. Yeah, it's a bit more, it's not a big bushy beard, but it's doable, and I think you should expect that, to be fair.
To me, it just throws it off. If you're
Yeah,
going for real
yeah,
hair, and
yeah,
it just throws it off slightly. I mean, don't let's be honest. We're splitting. If you'll forgive the pun, we're splitting hairs ever so
yeah.
slightly because it is a fantastic sculpt and it looks
It is.
great.
It's a
But
brilliant figure.
it's one of those figures where there is so much going on that real hair kind of disappears. You kind of
That's what I feel. Um,
yeah.
yeah.
With Gandalf, because he doesn't have much. He has a stick.
No.
He's no
Yeah.
man with a stick.
In a dress.
You kind of take you kind of take it all in because it's very minimal.
Yeah.
With this,
That's what you're drawn to. Yeah.
Yeah, with this, there is so much to look at that having some actual rooted dreadlocks and having a couple of wisps of rooted hair just gets eaten up in everything else.
Yeah.
It's
Exactly.
and
as I
poncy about it that people get.
Yeah, I think so. And as I said on Ben's show, it's great when you first get it out of the box and you're up close and what was it? But it goes in the cabinet, and most of the time you're looking at it from 4 or 5 feet away, and so you lose a lot of that impact of that. And I think for me, anyway, it's no criticism. If you want to spend £600 on a figure, you love this figure that much, and you want the absolute best you can get, fair play to you. But I think for me, it's not worth that extra. I would go probably with the standard and be really, really happy with that one.
To put it in perspective, I paid about £100 more and got a DeLorean.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's
Absolutely.
what I
got my DeLorean for 700.
Yeah,
My
that's
DeLorean.
why.
Yeah,
and that's what I struggle with sometimes with some of these. As I look at stuff and I go, actually, I've got a whole vehicle for that. And that's still £200 more than I paid for my first car, actual car that I drove.
Yeah,
in.
yeah.
Like not a dolly car.
But we all
an
know that was a
actual
piece of shit, mate. And you had to climb in through the boot and stuff like that.
No, that wasn't even my first car. That was a different
wow.
one. That was awful. That one, but yeah, that one was free.
But again,
for that one.
it never fails to surprise me how people's their ability to move the goalposts. Nobody knew this was coming, and if somebody had said to you, "Oh, would you ever pay £600 for a Hot Toys Jack Sparrow?" People would probably go, "No, I wouldn't, because I can get this one off here for 300 or whatever, 200-300." But all of a sudden, £600 becomes acceptable, and people say, "Oh, well, it's my favourite character. It's going to be the centerpiece of my. I don't mind if I sell a couple more figures." But it does seem to be that the people are able to continually adjust what they feel is reasonable to pay for a figure. And I mean, yeah, there's 4,000 of these, I think, so it is a limited edition. They're not numbered or anything like that, so it's not like collecting statues, I suppose.
Problem is, in what world is 4,000 limited?
I know. It's
Fucking
not really,
madness.
is it?
Like, no, they need.
And
to
how many
stop
do they
pissing
make
on our
of
shoes and tell
other
us it's
figures
raining.
anyway? They never. Yeah, exactly. And they never
yeah.
tell us what the edition sizes are of other figures.
No.
There might only be 1,000 of something else but you don't know.
Yeah.
You'll never know.
Fucking 4,000 limited. Like, have a day off. Ain't happening. No. This I like.
Go on then, mate. You can take this one away.
So this is Hot Toys have announced a comic version of Magneto. This would be 165 quid at Q4 2024. I really like this. I've been watching a lot of X-Men 90. Is it 97? Yeah.
On Disney, isn't it?
Yeah, love it. Like I've said for ages, I'm out of Marvel, but you get me some decent X-Men, and I'm back in. Like, give me animated X-Men, and I'm back in. So this Magneto looks absolutely fantastic. The only issue I would have is I don't pair it with, but 165 quid. Very, very tempted by this. It is very cool.
You're not a fan of the Wolverine?
Yeah. I do like the Wolverine as well, so that is another possibility. But I'd want the full squad. But the good thing is though, it would
Yeah,
mean that all I would end up doing is tracking down a load of the old So Toys stuff because they did really good X-Men.
they did. They did. Although, I think this is the collaboration with Hono Toys, or with a Hono
Mm.
Toys is just Hot Toys, a branch of Hot Toys. But um, I think this will have legs. I think because of
Mm.
because of the price point. I think it will. I think we'll get to see a lot of characters. It's just whether or not you want to be patient enough, or whether say you want to go and pick up the So Toys figures and then
Mm.
potentially swap them out for when Hono bring out their versions.
Thing is, the
Um,
stuff is so good as it is. Like some of
yeah.
that commands a really high price. Like their Gambit
Yep.
is fucking
That
phenomenal.
Gambit went. Yeah.
Yeah, so they do
And
really
he
good
was going for
stuff. So
stupid money at one point.
yeah, I mean even their
So
Magneto was pretty cool as well. Like all their stuff's been really good. So my thing is,
yeah.
I would end up getting the stuff and probably not feeling the need to actually need to swap it because it is that good.
Yeah. Yeah.
But this is fantastic. Like I like my only gripe is I don't remember Magneto having tits. Other than that, it looks
No.
really good. But I think that's just a really awkward camera angle.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know what sort of bodies they're using on these. It almost looks like it's like a Fison or something, like the big Fison, but it's
I
unlikely
think
at that price.
I think they based it on Jordan in the 90s because those are some crackingly big tits the man has. Like
Yeah.
I don't know if it's
Um,
just that. I think that picture
yeah.
on the left and the
Yeah.
one in the middle where he's kind of
Mhm.
a crush your balls kind of pose.
Yeah. As I say, he's grabbing
I just
someone
don't think they're great
sack.
angles. Hmm.
No. No.
But all
But
in all,
I don't. I
I like the
definitely.
figure.
Yeah, and the price point is very encouraging. That that they're kind of acknowledging there is a massive profit in these figures, and
Mm.
particularly we're like, as I've said on Let's Get Nuts. The price we pay for stuff is like twice what you'll pick it up for in a shop in China, Hong Kong.
Mm.
But by the time it gets here, it's passed through so many people's hands, and they're all taking their cut. Whereas with this, they're still gonna make a nice profit on these, but you're
Mm.
not getting absolutely ripped off by all these intermediate,
Yeah.
you know, people that are taking their bit of the pie.
Mm.
And it's nice to see that. I mean, I don't know whether us paying 165 means that in China they're only 100 quid, but
Mm.
it's an easier pill to swallow, isn't it,
Yeah.
than paying what we do for most Hot Toys stuff.
Yeah. 100%.
So then we just stuck this one in. I don't know. It's not really our kind
Lies.
of
It's all lies. It's all
meat and
lies. It won't look
potatoes.
anything like this.
Well, no, 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 no. But for now we can imagine that
Mm.
it will. So this is the sideshow Pennywise from the It TV series from the early 90s. Tim Curry playing Pennywise, an iconic kind of look.
Mm.
So yeah, it's sideshow. Um, these look great. We know they've not got a great track record in producing anything. They there's odd ones that they do manage to do it, and I suppose in some ways their horror figures are probably some of the better stuff they do.
Yeah.
But you know, so we've
I'm
got
just looking at these photos, thinking, "Fuck me, that's like a movie still." And
yeah,
then I see,
yeah,
oh, it's sideshow, and and I go,
yeah,
no, like that. I don't think they've ever produced a promo this good. Like this looks
no,
phenomenal, and they just don't have the track record. Like even their statues, like people go mad over their statues. I just think
hmm
everything they do is just lackluster. Their paintwork shit. The scopes are normally pretty good, to be fair, but I just got no faith that they'll actually be able to produce anything near this at all.
no.
Like,
And
no
again, it's the same.
chance.
That Beetlejuice looks fantastic, but we know that that's not going to look like that either.
I still remember
Um,
the last one they did,
mm,
and I just think no, it's just bullshit. They're just
yeah.
lying sacks of shit. They shouldn't be. They shouldn't be allowed to do this anymore. Like, it's just no, no.
Yeah, and
Two hundred and
and the
thirty-five
price we've
quid.
got
No.
plus tax plus shipping, so you're looking at over 300 quid if you
Yep.
bought it from Sideshow and getting it to the UK, and it's as
Yeah.
you say, it's probably going to look like a bag of shit.
hmm
Which is a
Now I
shame
used
because if it
I
came
used to
out like
buy
this, it'd be
quite a lot
great.
directly from Sideshow, right?
Mhm,
And it
mhm.
used to be
Yeah,
that
you had a
even
little
paying the
phase, didn't you,
tax,
where you were doing? Yeah.
I had a little phase, and it worked out. It was I was doing it at a really good time because it worked out that you were paying about the same as you were in Hong Kong. Um,
Mhm.
Even with import, there was like 10, 15
Right.
quid in it. But because the more you bought from Sideshow, the more reward points you were getting.
Yeah, yeah.
So
You
you
get
were getting
more rewards.
such
Yeah.
a heavy discount that it made it all worthwhile. And then they fucked around with the reward points. It didn't become worth it
Yeah.
anymore. Um, but their stuff, I think probably it's probably about 2, 3 figures that I've got that are Sideshow figures, um, that are any good. You know, they're old stuff.
Mm.
And they never used to be like that, right? They're old stuff. They're old Scum and Villainy collection, things like that.
Yeah.
Fantastic,
Yeah.
all really good. Like their
Yeah.
sculpts are fantastic. You know, they show their age a bit, but a little slap
Mhm.
of paint on them, they're fine.
Yeah. Yeah.
Their stuff, their Wonder Woman was absolutely god awful. Their Beetlejuice was a pile of shit. And then they went and reissued the
Mm.
one figure they did that everyone universally said was fantastic, which was the Mythos Obi one,
Mythos
and
Obi.
then decided to fuck up the elbows on the new ones, and
Yeah. Yeah.
they just can't be
And I
trusted.
and I think they dialed back some of the weathering and stuff, didn't they? It seemed like a
Mm.
real like lazy
It's a
effort.
step down,
And then obviously
massive step down.
they released Grievous, re-released Grievous, and we all know how that turned out.
This is why I'm so pissed off with them, because I was like, okay, Grievous was a figure very of its time, and I thought even if you just made it with new parts,
Mhm.
new production, there's no way that they're going to have the same shit that they had
Yeah.
before. And it was the same shit. I ended up
Mhm.
smashing mine
Yeah.
up and then fucking drilling bits in
I
it to
know.
call it
Yeah.
battle damage and shit. It's that fucker behind me. Objectively, you look at it, it's a nice looking figure, but you don't move it, you can't touch it. It's a pretty much a statue. You
Yeah.
should just glue all the joints in place.
Mm.
Um,
Yeah, and then they
but
brought out
to
those
answer,
because you were going to get those Clone Wars Obi and Anakin, weren't you? And they turned out dog shit as well.
yep,
The
yep.
Yoda's meant to be alright,
The Yoda's
but
meant to be okay. The Anakin and Obi, sculpt wise, paint wise, are fine. It's the bodies are just meant to
mhm.
be loose and shit and floppy, and that
And
was
you
when I
can't
was
really
like, no,
swap them out because they're those really like super thin legs and stuff,
they're
aren't they?
very bespoke to the Clone
Mm.
Wars look. And
Mhm.
then they
Yeah.
wanted like 250 quid each for them and shit like that. You can pick them up now for about 150, but they're all riddled
Yeah,
with
I've seen them
problems.
quite a
So,
few of them cheap. Yeah.
Sideshow would have to put out a significant amount of decent figures to claw
Yeah,
back
that's what
any
Skull
kind of
Collector says. If
reputation.
Sideshow
Yeah,
if Sideshow turns the corner one day and puts out good figures, how many do you think they'd have to do well to change the narrative of their stuff being crap? Quite a lot, because people will be very wary. Even if they put out 2, 3 good ones, you'd almost want like 10 or so to say actually they look like they're on a you know on a good run here.
I would rather
Um,
buy a Molecule 8 Lennon than I would than I would this.
I would
Like,
rather buy a Molecule 8 Willy Wonka, mate. Yeah.
yeah, exactly. I'd rather pre-order one of those than this. I'd have more faith in that turning up halfway decent than this.
Yeah,
Just ain't
which
happening.
is a shame because
Yeah,
you know,
it looks fantastic. I mean, that middle picture looked phenomenal. Just ain't
yeah,
gonna happen.
yeah.
Yeah.
No, absolutely. Then we've got 3-0 continuing their Stranger Things line. So we've got Jim Hopper, um, Jim David Harbour character. They're quite expensive. 180 1/6 kit. So there's quite a lot of money, I think, for basically a
Yeah.
pretty bare bones figure. He's got his sheriff, his police uniform, a few bits and pieces of gun, a torch, some glasses, newspaper bits and pieces. And I suppose if you're collecting the line, you definitely want to have this guy to go with the kids because he's a major character,
Mm.
particularly like in the later shows and everything. Obviously not dressed like this,
Mm.
but and I don't. I think the sculpt's okay, but then all
I
of
quite
their
like it.
Stranger Things stuff's been yeah.
Mm.
Um, you know who it is. You can tell who it is. And I think the other figures have been quite well received for people that are collecting them. Um,
3-0, just a
but,
strange company for me. They're not like Sideshow
mm,
where everything they pay out is dog shit. But I had the what was it? It was the Walking Dead Rick. That was fucking awful. Like
oh
that was
yeah,
terrible. Like the
hmm
sculpt was awful.
yeah,
The rest of it was fine. Like the tailoring, the
mm, yeah,
accessories were all good, but the sculpt was awful. Um, I think this for 180 quid. I don't think this is too bad. I can tell who it is. I quite like him as a character, and like you said, if you got the rest of him, you kind of need him to tie it together
yeah,
a bit because he's
yeah,
quite a central character.
yeah. And I don't know how
But
he
yeah,
looked. To be honest, I didn't really. I should have got a picture with the hat because obviously it doesn't look like there's any sort of swap out hair piece or
mm,
certainly not a second head. So it'd be interesting to see what that hat looks like on him. Um, it doesn't look that massive when it's on the floor there, but yeah, 3-0. I think they have great potential. I think they're on the whole their Game of Thrones line was pretty strong. Head sculpt's not Hot Toys quality, but not bad. And their Rambo figures have been brilliant.
mm.
Although I'm still waiting on part two, and there's been no word of it whatsoever. And it was meant to be a Q1 release, so I don't know what's happening with that because it should have been fairly simple. They'd already done two sculpts.
Yeah,
It's a really simple outfit, black. So I don't know what the delay is with that. Um,
no,
but I've got the first Bub one, and that was fantastic, and the
mm.
part three one was really good as well. So yeah, there you go. So we've got
It's just why
Exo 6 Row Laren,
just
175 quid Exo 6, out Q3 2024.
she's got some neck on her,
Doesn't look
hasn't she?
good. Yeah, I mean, notwithstanding the fact that it's a really sort of backgroundy character. I know she had a few more episodes and stuff near the end, but it looks bad. That one on the right, it looks like a 20 quid Barbie doll, doesn't it? It doesn't look good.
I think
Really
some of that though
shiny.
is
Mm,
to do with the suits. Like the
right.
suits, I don't think it matters how well you tailor them. The suits are very of their time, and and even the ones you
Yeah.
see on screen, they look very cheap. Like
Mhm.
so when you scale it down, I don't think it does it any favors. Don't get me wrong. Like I
Mhm.
look at data, and I think certain colors look better. I think the red is one that doesn't perhaps translate very well,
Yeah. Mhm.
but the head sculpt, I think the neck's way too long. And again, they've done what everyone else does, and apparently we just don't put highlights in hair anymore. We just paint it black and leave it.
Yeah. Just go
Um,
black. Yeah. Just.
yeah, but I mean, I know who it is, so I'm not going to
Mhm.
completely condemn them. But I just think it's
Yeah.
such. It doesn't help as well that it's such a weird release. I'd understand if we'd had say 3 or 4 people from the bridge crew, and this was like a little palate cleanser
Mhm.
shoved in
Yeah.
between. I'd be a little bit more like, oh, okay, yeah, right, it's fine. You can have it pottering around in the background if you really want.
Mhm.
But we're waiting on so much from them that every
Yeah.
release like this just makes me look at it a little bit harder. Because
Yeah.
I was thinking next one's going to be like Riker, or they might even do a villain, might even do a law, something like that, where they've already got bits
Mhm.
for. Um, and then yeah, this came out
Yeah.
of complete left field.
Yeah.
Like, give me a Picard. Give me a next gen Picard.
Mhm.
Like that's
I
what
know.
everyone wants.
They're really pissing me off, to be honest, because I don't understand. I get. I mean, no matter what Nanjin would say and how he'd flower this up and say, "Oh yeah, it's a really important release," and I like. It's basically he's worried that if he puts out all the main characters that people want, then they'll have that and they'll stop buying his stuff. Whereas if you bring out things like this and you're a massive Star Trek fan, you might think, well, okay, I'm collecting next gen. I've got Data. I've got Geordie coming. I might just pick this up because it fleshes out the collection while I'm waiting for Worf or Riker or a next gen Picard.
Mm.
And I think it's a bit sneaky, really. It's
But
making people buy things that.
you could do that with villains, and you could fudge that in way better than Rogue. Like
Yeah.
there's characters, when you think about how long Next Gen was, and you think about Star Trek in general, really, like it's been on for absolutely years.
Yeah.
There's loads. You got Descartes and all of that. You could easily focus on bits like that. Like I can't remember his name, but I really want the Klingon with the really mad eyes that all the memes are of him.
Oh, okay.
Can't remember his name though, but I'd love one of him. Like if they captured that wild look he's got, be fantastic. But you've got loads of villains you could do. You could have some Cardassians, all of that sort of stuff.
Yeah. So
And use that as
I
the
think
bit to keep people interested.
it's blatantly just making people buy stuff that they don't really want because it's to fill a gap. Yeah, Chen with us, it's his company. He can release whatever figures he wants. So he really can't do anything about it besides complain and hope he listens.
You could literally say that about any company at all.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, you're right. He can, and he can do whatever the fuck he wants. And that was it.
Yeah.
Gowron's the one I want.
That's
you
it,
can say that about absolutely any company though. Like we can piss and moan all we like about it, and it's up to him if he wants to listen. But he can generally do whatever he wants. That's fine. But you'll start to get the point where people just go, just fucking done with it. Can't be asked.
Yeah, I'm kind of there. I mean, so I want some. First of all, Rother Khan. I just want Kirk, Spock, and McCoy. They've been teased. We've seen pictures of them. And what did they do? The first one they put up a pre-order was Savick, Kirstie Alley. So again, it's like, oh, you're all desperate. You all want Rother Khan. I've been talking about them for years. They're gonna be like top notch. We're gonna put all our effort into these. They're gonna be stunning. But yeah, we'll put Savick up because people are gonna buy it that wouldn't have bought it because they want that representation of that movie, of that suit. Well, now recently, apparently, Nanjin's still not happy with the material of those the monster maroon movie outfits. So he's now waiting for samples from China or something. So that's not going to be till the end of the month. And then he said it's going to push back Savick by 6 months to a year. We've not even had solicitation of the main characters, so that pushes them back again. Nothing for original series apart from those motion picture Kirk as Spock that were a bit of an anomaly and were kind of like a filler thing. So I just think he's doing people bad, to not give us anything from the original series to kind of, even like they're doing with Next Gen, get people on board, get one figure in their hands, and then they're kind of locked in there and they're waiting.
Yeah.
And I just get fed up with, what have we got now? We've got Neelix, we've got Bashir, we've got, DS9 and Voyager getting a lot of love. They might not be the best figures in the world, but they're getting them out. But they're not the most popular shows. So it's all just being done, I think, to just fleece people for money, and I have a bit of an issue with how he's doing his releases. But
I think DX9's more justified than Voyager, because DX9 it was really popular. Like, so
It was a
I
great show,
get that.
DS9, yeah.
Yeah, I really like it. Like, I get
Mhm.
them going into the DX line the way they have done. Um, sorry, DS9, not DX.
Yeah,
Um,
DS9, yeah.
but yeah, Voyager, I do not understand. I, I don't get it. But like, you know, said his company can do what the fuck he likes. But
Mhm.
I'm only gonna go so long with having Data and Geordie. Now the thing is, by releasing Geordie as the next one, I could stop there if this goes on the way it goes on. I could quite happily just have that paired together.
Mhm.
It might be more sensible to do someone like Riker, where
Mhm.
Data and Riker together as a pair doesn't really go.
Yeah.
Geordie and Data, you could put them and go, done. I'm happy with that. That'd be fine.
Mhm.
If it means I'm gonna have to wait around for such a long time for the rest of the bridge crew, I could quite happily go, right, I'll stop there. That could
Yeah.
do me. And I think that
Yeah.
that's the only danger he runs is people going, actually, I've got two characters from it. I'm not waiting around. If they come out, they come out, but I'm
Mhm.
not bothered.
Yeah.
I think Andre's
No.
kind of hit the nail on the head. Waves of three from the crew, then variants and fuck
Mhm.
around with rows and all that kind of stuff would probably work quite well. You keep people interested. You get out, you know, things people want, and not piss everyone off. Um,
No, and the thing is with these as well, they're you know, once you've nailed the outfits, which they have done, and they've released a yellow outfit, a red outfit. I don't know if there's been a blue one yet. Um, but it's just the head sculpt. They're not giving you a custom body for every single one of these. Um,
no,
all the male bodies, they might put some ankle extenders or something in, and but it should be really easy to be churning these out because you're just working on the head sculpts.
yeah,
Um, also a very annoying thing. You're not making a bespoke suit every time. All the accessories are the same. They basically all
yeah,
come with a phaser, a tricorder, and maybe something else. Um, and I know they've got to make them. I know they've got a factory and people have physically got to make them. I'm not sort of taking that out of it, but at the same time, they should be able to turn these around quicker because they've got all the basics there.
mm.
But yeah,
I mean,
I find it a bit
you know,
frustrating. But
if we look at Data, so I said when that came out and I got it, I said, right, I just need a Geordie now, and I was tempted to order another Data,
that's right. Yeah, you showed me the head
sell the
sculpt.
heads, sell the hands, and then just 3D print a Geordie head.
Yeah.
There's a lot of Star Trek stuff out that you can print yourself, and actually, if he goes the way he's going, then say Riker, all I need is them to release the next guy in a red suit. Fuck it, I'll do my own.
Yeah.
I'll buy
Yeah.
it, I'll bin off the bits, and I'll do my own. And then I think what we'll see is we're starting to see more people kit bashing because wait. Now he'll still be getting money out of it because people will still be buying the figures, but I think that's what we'll end up
Yeah.
seeing.
Because they haven't released. This is the first next gen figure in a red suit, isn't it? Because they've only done the
Yeah,
Geordie and the so presumably the first male in the red is probably going to be Picard or Riker anyway, isn't it? So
mm.
um, you know,
Yeah,
but yeah, it's an odd it's an odd strategy, but then you know all these companies are a bit odd, aren't they?
yeah, yeah. So this I've been tempted to pre-order.
I have
I
done.
really like this.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, I'm tempted.
yeah. Although, so what makes me laugh is the third sculpt. Have they actually looked to recreate the god awful original Hot
The
Toys one?
first,
That was like,
yeah,
you know,
I think they have.
yeah, because it's
But I
terrible. And
love the way
I
they've
mean,
done that.
that's
I
great if
love the
that's
way
what
they've
they've
done
done.
that. Mm,
Yeah.
yeah,
So this is the
yeah.
Present Toys Future Warrior
Mm,
160 kit due out Q4 2024. So it's basically it's the Terminator 1 um, battle damage police shootout, whatever you want to call it, copy of the Hot Toys. So hot on the heels of the T2 one that you've got, which I was really impressed with, and I think like with that extra little bit of blood work and stuff, it really lifted it. And
So I'd be fully
I know you've
expecting
got
to be
some.
doing that on this.
Yeah. So I pre-ordered this one because I thought actually I don't have. I've owned several of the uh, Hot Toys Terminators over time, and I kind of sold them on because they were going for silly money at the time. But I thought actually now that I'm sort of rebuilding my collection room, I'm going to have a lot more room. I'm going to have a dedicated 80s cabinet, and I thought I need to have a Terminator. I've got a Dutch, I've got a Conan, and I think I need a Terminator, so I've gone with this one.
Yeah.
I think
So I don't think the head
looks really
sculpt's
good.
going to look anything like that, just based on the
No,
last one.
no.
I think it still look good.
Yeah.
I think whatever they come out with will
Yep.
still look good.
Yeah,
They'll
yeah.
probably use the same sculpt they've used before and just modify it. If it
Yeah.
looked like that, I'd be well happy.
Mhm.
But yeah, I'm liking this so much so I'm just on their website now having a look.
Yeah.
Because it is good. Because they've done a did they not do
They're
a
doing the
T1000
Tech Noir.
as well? Yeah, so I've had the proper Tech Noir and that was okay.
Yeah. A bit dated the sculpt, I think, on that one. So they've done a Tech Noir, and I don't think the sculpt looked great on that. I think this one you get away with it more because it's if you used in the half damaged one, you get a little bit more license with the with the likeness and stuff like that. But I think it's a real leather jacket as well, like the T2 one you've got. And yeah, I think for 160, it's a no-brainer really. I think it's going to look really good.
$35 deposit. Yeah, they have done a T1000. I'm just looking at it now and I'm thinking, do I pre-order this or do I pre-order the T1000?
Oh, is it in like the police outfit?
Yeah. It's called Police Robot.
Mm-hmm. That's it. Yeah.
The same price as well. Yeah. I mean, this looks really good. Like, I'm very impressed with Present Toys at the moment. I think they've been nailing it.
Yeah.
And 160 shipped is just fucking insane, really.
Yeah. Absolutely. And as I think
the
hopefully the head sculpt will be a bit stronger than because I think that was the major criticism with the one you've got, wasn't it? The head sculpt. So I think gives them an opportunity to put a bit
fat in the face.
Yeah. So it gives them an opportunity to put a bit more work into this one, I think. But as you say, if it comes out anything like that, I'll be happy with. It's iconic enough, and I love the fact that it looks like they've recreated that original Hot Toys sort of, I don't know.
It's such a nice touch.
It's brilliant.
It's such a nice touch.
Yeah. It's funny. So it's good to see that they're putting the effort into that for a figure that's £160. You're getting 3 head sculpts. It might be a little in joke, but it's a nice touch, I think.
Yeah.
Shows that they kind of care about what they're doing. So yeah, and I did have the Hot Toys one, and it was a really good figure. So yeah,
it's just a shame because realistically, I'm never going to use the other 2 head sculpts. It's always just going to have this fucked up one on.
Yeah, me too. But at least you are getting them, and you can obviously do a custom with them or sell them on whatever. So it gives you options anyway. But it'd be good to have a Terminator back in the collection.
Yeah.
Right. The next one is
I think.
So it's So it's the it's Present Toys motorcycle clothing, £87, 1/6 kit, due out Q3 2024. It's basically the Drifter outfit from the Batman. So if you picked up the Hot Toys Batman, or you're picking up the in-art one where you've got the Bruce Wayne head sculpts, I think for the money it's a really good, and it does come with a body as well. I think it's an absolute no-brainer. It looks pretty cool, and it means that you get so much more value out of that either of the releases because you're using
Mm.
that you get to use the Bruce Wayne head sculpts on something that isn't just Bruce Wayne in a suit, which is what
Yeah, which is what we
what
normally
the
get.
normal the option is. So yeah, I think it's
Mm.
quite nice for the money. Um,
Yeah, I like it. I think it
so yeah, I
looks
think
good. It's a
yeah,
nice set.
yeah, I think if I had either, I mean, I'm not bothered. I'm not. It's not my favourite Batman. I picked up the bike because I really like the bike. I won't be picking up
Mm.
the Batman. Um, but I think if you have got either of those sets, it's worth getting this so you can display both head sculpts because I think
Mm.
they're both pretty good. You can
Yeah.
argue all day long what's better in art or Hot Toys, but I don't think either of them are particularly bad. And yeah, good little set. The present toys, very heavy on present toys today, aren't we?
Very much. I've
Um,
been very interested by this as well.
yeah,
This is
yeah.
very
So
good.
yeah, go on, mate. You can take it away.
So this is to everyone. This is Link. um,
Yeah.
but Present
Mhm.
Toys have called it the Legendary Warrior. So this is 200 quid. It's at Q4 2024, so end of this year. Comes with a fucking fantastic base that looks really good.
Yeah.
It's
So that's
effectively
the
giving you
the
Breath of the
deluxe
Wild.
version.
Mm,
Yeah, and then there's a basic one that doesn't have that base, so it's a little bit
yeah,
cheaper. Or you can buy the base on its own as well.
yeah. I think the base, selling it on its own is a really good idea because that would be
Mhm.
quite good for Gandalf and people
Yeah.
like that as well.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
there's
yeah. Yeah.
quite a few that would work
So
out
it's
for.
basically the one without without the fancy base is 140, which is really cheap. 200 with it, or you could buy it on its own for like 60, 70. So
Mm.
you've got options there, which is good. I think it looks really cool. I don't know if it's all
Yeah.
like sculpted and plastic, or it doesn't look like material, does it?
No,
But then
it looks
I
like
might
it's
be
all
wrong. I
sculpted.
don't. Yeah, maybe that chainmail is like a. I mean, it's not real chainmail. It might be a sort of
Yeah.
softer cloth kind of thing. But it does look really cool.
Mm.
Although I've not played any of the later ones, so I'd probably if they did a more classic one like in the green, I'd
Yeah.
be tempted because I know Figma did one years ago, and
Mm.
I've always been tempted to pick up a Link.
Mm.
So it'd be good.
I played.
Hopefully they
I
might.
haven't played the
Hmm.
last one. I played the one before. The one before was
Yeah,
good. I've not played the
yeah.
last one though.
No, I know they're great games. I just haven't kind of played them recently. But I played the old ones,
Mm.
and yeah, I'd like if they brought out a classic one in the green with the hat and stuff. I'd probably pick
Yeah.
one of those up. But I because I haven't really got any sort of affiliation to this one, I probably wouldn't
Mm.
pick it up. But again, it's great to see them like branching out into something that I mean they do unlicensed figures, but obviously most of them are just kind of copies of licensed ones that other people have bought
Mm.
out. But this is a completely, as far as I know, I don't know if there's been any
Yeah. Don't think so.
official licensed 1/6 figures. I don't think so. So
Not that I'm
it's a
aware of.
good. No, no. So
Mm.
it's all the Figma ones, the smaller scale. So yeah, again, it gives you another nice little option, and that one for 140 is a
Yeah.
bargain, really.
That's really
Um,
good. Yeah.
yeah. Um,
Could
so
use the
yeah.
head sculpts and Beverly Crusher Kit Bash. I like that. That's a good
Oh yeah, yeah.
one. Yeah.
Well, why not? Um, you just need a blue female outfit now
Mm.
from the show. Yeah, and continuing the third party stuff, we've got the Play Toy. So these are the guys that did the Queen
Padme.
Amidala figure
Yeah.
from Phantom Menace, and they've kind of followed it up with a Padme from Attack of the Clones, I assume,
Yes. Yeah.
something like that.
I think this is a
Sort of
really
like
clever move considering
Mhm.
the Anakin's coming out.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
this, yeah, this was a good idea. Very good idea. And
yeah. I
100
don't think
quid,
it's
you can't
bad
really
either. It's
complain.
not. Yeah, no, no. It's
No.
good. It's good enough for the price, I think. If you've not if you've not gone with the like the Hot Toys one,
Mm.
um, I think it's it's pretty good. And I think these kind of companies, they they got good mileage out of Leia with some of these companies
Yeah.
with like the the Jabba Palace suit and other
Mm.
bits and pieces. And I think now, as obviously collections are turning towards more back to the prequels, that they got quite a good little.
Yeah, start
I expect
plugging
we'll
some of
see
those
some.
gaps.
Yeah, I expect we'll see
Mm.
some more of these sort of figures. Yeah, again, I think not bad for £100.
No,
Um,
can't
to
can't grumble.
fill out
Cannot
your
grumble with that.
Attack of the Clones collection. So yeah, it's
Mm.
Play Toy £100 due out Q4 this year. Here we go, mate. This is the one I put in for you. I know this is one of your favourite movies and
I just
characters,
don't get it.
and
I do not
and
get
you
it.
and you've
Just
always
don't understand it.
you're always waiting for that in art one, but while you wait, there's all
Yeah.
these string of third parties, and again, I think
Mm.
they've completely missed the mark on the head sculpt. So this is Yan Toys. This is Dawson, the Leonardo DiCaprio Jack Dawson from Titanic. £140, due out Q4 2024. What do you think, mate?
So I think you got it slightly wrong. It's not Leo. It's Leon Kennedy from Resident Evil 2.
Ah, yeah,
I think
yeah,
they got
yeah. The
slightly
hair,
confused
definitely,
with the
yeah.
head sculpts. Yeah.
Mhm.
I don't get who wants Titanic figures. I don't know who's buying
No,
them. I honestly
no.
don't. It's probably the same pretentious cunts that buy Stuart Little and that sort of thing. I just don't get it.
Yeah,
It's like the same with Gangs in New York. How many fucking butcher figures do we need? Like, we
yeah,
don't.
yeah.
It's just. I mean, look, if it's your thing, then fucking all, more power to you. But I just don't get
No,
it.
no.
Do not get
I mean,
the fascination.
I'm not the biggest hater of the movie. I don't mind the movie. I think it's right. It's got a fantastic. The special effects are great. It's got a fantastic soundtrack.
Fucking goes on a
But
bit though, doesn't it?
it does, and I certainly have no desire to own any figures from it because they're just people
No.
in like normal shitty old clothes. Um, I think it does appeal to that, dare I say, pretentious market. I know of one
Mm.
collector in particular who's excited about this and has you know, very much these like, the poster at the back and these iconic
Mm.
characters and stuff like that. But um, yeah, no interest here. And again, they've missed the mark on the head sculpt there. It's not good.
Mm.
Um,
Yeah,
so.
fucking madness. I just don't get it.
Well, I
Like,
just
don't get me
chucked it in
wrong.
because I knew it would annoy you. That's the only reason it's in there because I think it's actually
I
dog
just
shit.
I
And
just find it really weird, like really weird. Don't get me wrong, like I've got a display case behind me full of Star Wars and stuff like that. So I'm not saying that anything that isn't Star Wars or anything that isn't like action
hmm
orientated
yeah,
shouldn't be made.
yeah,
But I just think like, how are you going to pose this? All right, you put the bag on his back. That's it. I mean, unless you've got
yep,
a bucket of water, there's not really many
yeah.
ways you can pose this. Like,
And you put a
you at
bit
least
of
give him a
like ice effects in his hair,
yeah.
um,
At least give
have
him
him
a
half
door or
drowning.
something. Like,
Yeah,
it's just it's just weird. It's just I don't
no,
get it.
it's
I don't get in a
just
typical
boring.
collection where you would put it in, like how you would get it
No,
to gel.
it only
It
works
just
if
wouldn't
you've
be.
got that. You go with that det off one shelf, one character in
Yeah,
the middle
poster in the
with the
back.
poster behind, and you're celebrating the movie more than the fact that it's a
The
great
character.
figure with a
Yeah,
great outfit. Yeah, yeah, exactly. So,
yeah, yeah,
you know,
yeah,
but yeah, yeah,
yeah. This
yeah.
I'm
It's an
liking.
interesting one. You can tell us all about
So
this one, mate.
they've actually shown us some figures from their Dark Side collection. Now, I don't think it means that everything here is going to get reissued if there's already a version of it. But
No,
there's a
no.
couple of bits here that, like Revin and the Star Killer that we've not seen before, as well as the rest of the Inquisitors being shown.
Yeah,
I don't think we're going to get a reissue of Maul because that's just the normal Maul in the middle. It doesn't look any different.
no.
Um, yeah, if we get a Revin, brilliant, fantastic. Saves me having to print one. brilliant. I'll have that every day. Same with the Starkiller. I think the Starkiller is really good as well. But they're the two I'm really excited for. I've already got Palpatine on pre-order, although I don't actually like the Palpatine that much. The more
No.
photos of it I see, the more I'm going,
Mm.
I just don't see it. But I might.
No.
The rest of the figure's great. I could probably swap the head out for something a little bit more Palpatine-y. But yeah, I think
Yeah.
as a collection, I think it's great. But I don't think we're going to start to see stuff reissued under the Dark Side banner. I think this is just
No.
a collection
There's certainly
of
not
figures.
gonna. There's certainly not gonna be another Vader, and we've got
No,
Vaders coming out of ears. I mean, it'd be good if they did Dooku because you know, I mean, I took me a long time to get a hold of one, and you know, they still goes for good money, 300 plus. I'm not really particularly au fait with the two characters here that everyone is interested in because I don't really sort of do the expanded universe. So tell me a little bit about those two. Which one's which, and kind of
so
what is their like narrative in the saga
you've got Revan on the right hand side. So he first popped
with the
up in Knights of
sort
the
of
Old
the
Republic.
purple blade and the red
Yeah,
one. Yeah.
that's it. So he,
Okay.
you played as him in the first Knights of the Republic game. So him and his apprentice
Right.
Malak, they effectively brought the galaxy to its knees. He was then knocked out in a big space battle, and the Jedi wiped his memories. And
Okay.
effectively he then became a Jedi. He then regains his memories throughout the game, and then you make the choice in the game whether or not you're going to carry on being a good guy or go back to being a bastard. He then
Okay.
popped up
Okay.
again in more games and things like that. The further we get, the more I'm kind of, because I haven't played some of the new Knights of the Republic games. Fantastic character, like he's very cool. His outfit is fantastic. And then the guy
Yeah.
on the left, the Star Killer. So Star Killer was from the Force Unleashed games, and one of the outfits you
Okay.
could get
Yeah.
was
Yeah.
this version, which is
Right.
I can't remember what they called it. It was like it was like a Sith Master or something version.
Okay. Yeah.
So that's Sam Whitaker who did the voice work for that and the CGI capture for that, who ended
Right.
up voicing Maul in the Clone Wars. So there's been every time. So Mandalorian, everyone always keeps going, I really want Starkiller to pop up. I really want Starkiller to pop up. So he was Darth Vader's secret apprentice in the games.
Right. Okay.
Again, another really cool character, like really cool. I think there were two games with him. I think it was the second one that you got this skin.
Right. Yeah.
Both very cool. Very. I can see why people are getting the most excited about those two more than anyone else. It's a bit of a shame they're not doing a Malak to go with Revan, because you kind of
Right. Okay.
can't have one without the other, because Malak was the main bad guy from the game, like your former apprentice. In fact, I have a little head sculpt I'm going to be painting of him. He has his whole bottom jaw missing. He has this like plate over it.
Okay.
But yeah, very cool.
Unfortunate.
Very cool. Yeah, just a bit. So I'm loving this. I think this is gonna be good. Very much looking forward to these.
Yeah. Well, I hope that that they do come out, because I say a lot of people seem very excited about it. Not for me, but I know that they're two kind of characters that are very important to people. So yeah, it'd be good to see. Be interesting to kind of see. I guess they'll come under the VGM line, the video game line.
Yeah. I think this Power of the Dark Side thing is going to be one of those exhibits they do, where they show off a load of figures, and then they will show off these two particular figures, and then they go on pre-order. I don't think this is going to be a new line that we're going to see, because I just don't think they're going to reissue all of those figures that we've already seen.
No. Yeah, I think this poster it's a poster for a show that they're going to put in. So yeah, they'll just show some of the previous ones. Obviously, that Palpatine's not out yet, or Sidious. But it's nice if they've kind of listened to people. If people, a lot of people are shouting about these are two figures that they want. If it's in response to that they've gone, actually, people will buy these. So let's let's bring them out, which is cool. Yeah, so that was it for coming soon. Custom corner, mate. It's all your stuff,
Yeah.
so you can
So
talk us
that
through it.
Inigo Gil, who is one of the best sculptors ever, like I love his work. He's doing
Yeah.
he's doing a one from the TV series. It's meant to go on
Mhm.
pre-order relatively soon. He put this photo up of it, and I was like, I fucking love this. Like, this looks absolutely fantastic.
Yeah.
I was gonna sell
Yeah.
my Mythos Obi-Wan, and as soon as he put this up, I was like, well, I'm not selling it now because this
No,
looks
no,
fantastic.
no.
So I'm looking forward to that going up for pre-order. As soon as it goes out for pre-order, I will be pre-ordering it. It's probably going to be about 150 quid.
Yeah, yeah.
But
It's
it
been
just
a
looks
while
so
since
good.
I bought a custom head sculpt, so I know they kind of jump up every time you get back into it, but yeah, it
Yeah.
does look awesome. Yeah.
Inigo's one of those sculptors where I'm like, if you do a character I like, I'm just going to buy it because he always does
That
really well. His Obi-Wan's always
that
really
episode that episode 3 Obi-Wan is one of the best, his best probably, and
good.
one of the best sculpts ever. It's so good.
Yeah,
100
like,
times
this
better than the
just
Hot
looks,
Toys one.
yeah, and this just looks fantastic. So I'm
Yeah.
on board with this straight off the bat. And then I've had a little play around with some spare parts and stuff I've got. So I had a Sideshow Mace Windu ages ago,
Mm.
and the bits just been sitting in a drawer. And then 16J was posting some bits he wanted to get rid of, and he had a Windu head in there that he'd painted up. So I have a thing: if I buy something that someone else has painted, I strip it. I can paint. I want stuff I've painted in my collection. So there's nothing wrong with it. It was fine. But I stripped it off, started in, and painted up the Sam Jackson head sculpts, and thought, well, do you know what? I've got enough bits. I'll do a dark side version of Mace Windu. But I'm not really.
Yeah.
I don't know at the moment. There seems to be a big trend of going dark side version. They must be in rags, and everything gets fucking cut up and cut to
Yeah,
bits.
all burnt and stuff. Yeah.
All burnt and fucked up. And I was like, actually, I get his face being fucked up. So I gave him like a load of blood and claret and shit on his round his eye, almost like a wound that never, like a force wound that just hasn't healed. Like it's never going to heal because he had a full face of lightning. And then I had some gauntlets and stuff that I'd printed, and then I just dyed all of the Sideshow soft goods black, which is why they've come out this blacky browny colour. And then did a bit of Dremel work on the head sculpt, repainted it, and then plonked it all together. And I think it came out all right. So I ended up with a Mythos Mace Windu. I was tempted just to have a normal Mace Windu, but I thought, nah, fuck it, let's go Mythos. And then I picked up. I'd been looking for one for ages. Now I've got a couple of versions of Luke, and I've got my Return of the Jedi version, and I've got my kind of Mando version. My Mando version has an Inigo Gil head sculpt on. My normal version had this little KO fucking windswept head sculpt that I painted up ages ago. I'm not a big fan of the windswept one.
No.
But you couldn't seem to get hold of any official or any recast heads from the just the normal Return of the Jedi, normal looking one.
Yeah.
And then I found one, and I was like, oh, fucking thank fuck. It was like 15 quid. Now, I would have bought a normal Hot Toys one at this point, but I wasn't going to spend like £100 odd on one, and you just can't find them. So I ended up getting a knockoff one that was unpainted, and then just painted that up. So that's now sits on my Return of the Jedi Luke. And it's a weird sculpt, the Hot Toys ones, because you take the hair off and you go, fuck me, that's Mark Hamill all day long. Like all day long.
Yeah.
But you put the hair on, and it still looks like Mark Hamill, but it just takes a bit of the likeness off.
Yeah, it's odd, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, it's really weird, but I've really enjoyed painting that one. And then I was looking for a replacement head sculpt for my present toys, Arnie, and I found a guy. Apologies, I cannot remember the guy's name. On CG Trader that had this bust. I thought that head sculpt don't look too bad, and the bust was only like 20 or quid. So I bought the bust, printed the head, and the head's all come out like that, the neck attached. So I had to Dremel it off because it's all done for a bust.
Yeah.
Dremel it off and then painted it up, and then that now sits on my present toys Arnie. My only gripe with the head is the forehead's a bit big.
Yeah. You don't like.
But
You are very critical of a big forehead.
I don't like a big forehead on a figure. Like where
No,
you've got that
no.
crease there on the sculpt, if that's where the hairline was, I'd say it's absolutely fantastic.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, it's
to
quite
be
a
fair, it's a
bit
massive.
too big, isn't it?
Yeah, it's quite a big improvement over the present toys, but it will do for now until I find a different version. But it's quite a good one to paint up, to be fair, because you get lots of blood work on it, and there's a lot of chrome work that I like fucking about with. So yeah, I've actually been busy with 6 scale stuff. I've not touched any minis,
No
for a
minis.
little while.
No.
Although I am painting this for Raina, I've actually made a dent in it. It's this giant Darth Talon statue. So I've been doing that. So that hopefully I'll have that done soon. Doing the black on it is a pain in the arse. Like it's not that it's complicated or it's difficult. It's just a lot of it. Your mind
You're
goes
just painting
numb
it,
after
are
a
you?
while.
Was it?
Yeah. It was a print that someone had printed.
Right. Okay.
Not the best quality print, I've got to say.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm painting out for him, so that's that. Hopefully, I'll be able to get. I'm hoping to get that finished at the weekend if I'm left alone. But I don't know if I'm going to be left alone.
Yeah.
But yeah, so yeah, it's been quite nice to be diving back into 6 scale stuff, particularly after doing quite a lot of Warhammer. You tend to appreciate the real estate that a 6 scale head has. Like you've got a lot more room to manoeuvre and to really do stuff. So yeah, it's been nice.
Yeah. So from my point of view, obviously I'm basically refitting the collection room stroke cinema room. So everything's boxed up. I didn't box it all up in its original boxes. It's all up in the loft. I just bought a load of massive storage boxes, just bubble wrapped stuff, and just laid it out. It's not really got to go anywhere. It's behind me. It'll just get shuffled around. So basically, I'm painting all the walls in a really dark, like very low reflective grey for the cinema side of stuff, for the projector. But it also means that I can put some nice laminate flooring in, and I can get a lot more cabinets in. So at the moment, I've basically got 2 billies with glass doors, and then obviously the collection spilled out massively. It just ended up all around the room, higgledy-piggledy. So this will be the first time that I've actually been able to kind of set up a collection room from scratch. So I'll basically be getting. I've decided on some cabinets from Argos. They're a little bit narrower than a Billy, bit about the same height, but they're all glass. So I can fit. I'll be putting 6 of them down on the main wall, and then 3 on the opposite wall. So I kind of gone from like 10 shelves to 40 odd. So it means that I can really let the current collection breathe. So literally like a whole cabinet will be a New Hope, a whole cabinet for Empire, a whole cabinet for Jedi, a whole for Indie. So I can really, get all those figures out. And it means that obviously I've got a little bit of room to grow the collection as new figures come out that I want. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. I'm basically just getting some paint on the walls at the moment, because of the nature of this. It's almost like I'm like one of those slot puzzles. So I'm making room, I'm painting that bit, then I'm going to move all the stuff there and shift round, and it'll be very much the same with the flooring as well, because I can't get everything out of here. I'm keeping one of the billies that's going to kind of just go behind me, like behind the door. The other one can go. So yeah, it's good, and I can't wait to kind of get it all. When it's all eventually set up, and I'll get around to doing my collection tour, because I always sort of put off doing it because it wasn't all, you know, in a proper
Yeah.
display cabinets and stuff like that. So that's good. And the thing with these as well is by having like a whole cabinet for, say, A New Hope or Empire, means that I can like I can take one of the shelves out, so I can have one bit that's kind of like a double height to get like
Yeah.
the tauntaun in and the wampa and stuff like that. So
Bit more
that'll be really good.
flexibility.
And yeah, absolutely. The only thing I'm not struggling with, but I haven't kind of come up with is what kind of lighting to put in there. You know, do I just go with you know, the old strip LEDs or something a bit more you know, like a actual plastic bars? Or I'm not really sure.
I moved away
Because
from the
there's no
plastic
real,
bars ages ago
yeah,
and just
yeah.
went for the
You just got
LEDs.
the,
Then you can run it all the way
yeah,
up and around,
yeah,
um,
yeah,
and it because they're a hell of a lot brighter and you get a hell of a lot more. You don't need them going along the top like I used to have, and they were always a pain in the arse because they always broke. So you'd always be having to change them. Whereas actually, these strip lights that have been in here, they've been in from the moment I put these in, and they've been absolutely fine. I've not had any break. When I had the
No,
when
that's
I
what
had
I've got.
the old fashioned, I think the old IKEA deodors and the
That's
knockoff
it,
ones
yeah.
and different
Yeah.
versions like that. They were always breaking. They were a pain in the
Mm.
arse. Like they really
Mhm.
were. But these, touch wood, never had a problem. They light up. You can change the colour if you really want, although I don't know why you bother. They're love them.
Yeah.
Absolutely
Yeah,
love 'em.
so I think that's
Yeah.
probably what I'll go, because I'm, you know, it's a lot of cabinets as well. So
Mm.
that's probably the cheap, you know, the most cost-effective way of doing it as well. So what, you run yours up the sides, do you, rather than?
Yeah. Yeah. I run
Yeah.
them up. So I do a big loop. So I run them.
Yeah.
I drill a hole in the bottom. I
Mhm.
run it up. So it goes all the way up, all the way along the top, all the way back down. So the
Mhm.
bottom, effectively, it's a big goal post. So there's nothing at the bottom
Yeah.
apart from the two on
Yeah.
the side. So the one at the top shelf gets quite a lot of light because you have the
Yeah, because
top and the
it's got across
sides.
the top as well. Yeah.
But I don't notice. You don't really notice a lack of light on any of the others because the lights are so
Mhm.
bright. So yeah, I do it
Yeah.
like that, and then because I've got I think I've got a Besta unit, and then underneath is one of the TV stands. So
Yeah.
that sits that I've used as a riser to raise everything up. So all the gubbins and stuff all sitting there out the way.
And then what? And then what do you use to? Have you got something to cover them up so you're not looking directly at the LEDs?
So
Because I can't
with
see them
these,
from where I'm looking. But
no. So with these, because these have a thick frame,
mhm.
hides it, so I don't have to hide it. And then
Oh,
all I've done
yeah.
on the back end of these, if I open that up, you can see them. But
Oh, yeah.
what you,
Mhm.
I don't know if you can see it on the camera, but what I've done, I've put these silver strips on the inside to reflect any light back
Right.
as well.
Reflect it back. Yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
because you don't see it, so then when you close it, you can't
No.
see it all. So all the lights are hidden, and that's why I really like these because of the thicker frame. And then all you do is
Yeah.
you make sure anything you've got, so anything where you've got any fancy bases and stuff like that, you just make sure you raise it up to just make a
Yeah.
riser so you can see it. But yeah, I love it. Like they're probably the best. When I was made redundant from my old company, this was the little like fuck you, I'm buying it for me jobby because I used to
Yeah.
have
Mhm.
Detoffs and they were okay, and then
Yeah.
I did the whole
Yeah.
I merged two together, so I had the doubles, and
Yeah.
then
I
this
remember
was
that.
just and this fits perfectly along this back wall, so
Yeah. Mhm.
this was a bit of a no-brainer really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah. I mean, it's not pressing. You know, I've got no. I want to get the painting and the flooring done soon as,
Mm.
but then the cabinets and stuff, and you know, I'm I'm in no hurry. So yeah, I'm having to think about the lighting and stuff like that. But I think that's probably the best way to go. And,
Mm.
that's how I had these, and as I say, nothing's happened. They've worked fine for years. So um, yeah, probably do that. Um, so yeah, that's my custom. Nothing for minis. Yeah, so it's time of the show to thank all our wonderful Patreon members. We've got Ian Seavey, Rene Mendes, Eric Mariscal, Quinn Aguirre, King Louis, Mark Pearson, Paul Schreiber, Equan, Chris Valencerina, Ben Thomas, Chris Leddy, David Jones, Sam Gist, Daminator, Joel Brader, Thomas Clark, Eric Switzer, Six Guns Figs, Badfish, Toy Cartel, Danny Lee, Dinny Martin, Stephen Crep, Big Fern, Susan Marquin, Mark Phillips, Lisa Martin Pomonsky, Rick De Gregorio, Ricardo Valdez, Jose CZ, Owen Asusina, Luscious Rain, Alid Morgan, Takar 3 War, Derek Brzezinski, Aris Patillo, Alvin J, Aurelis Delgado, Jazz Carroll, Joe Ridley, Pablo Meza, D-Rock, Matt Clevenger, Seth Tucker, CC3PO, Scott Smith, Don Maton, Stephen Purchase, Sean Yahtzee, Scott Bradley, Stephen Maria Stanley, Eddie Manzanares, Louis Bennett, Chip Perrin, Jimmy Hernandez, Gigi Judgmental, and Brenton Palmer. Thank you all very much for your continued support of the network. If you're not a Patreon, you can join for $5 a month. Gets you the hot seat, gets you digital copies of stickers and access to Ox After Dark Patreon chat and a weekly shout out. $7.50 gets you the Sweet Angel, gets you a physical sticker sent to your door as well as the previous benefits. The Certified Crispy is $15 a month, gets you a certificate on first pledge. And the top tier, the What a Guy, $25 a month, gets you the exclusive What a Guy Pog Deluxe set. Doubles all the stickers we send, so you can give them to all your friends and family, and all the benefits of the previous tiers. You can also, and so the stickers we've got at the moment, the March one is the Ox Divers sticker, and then the April one is the Junk Drawer sticker, which I don't know if I think they only did it on one episode. I haven't seen it return since, so can't be a bit of a collector's item, that one. But that was Marco's segment for collecting weekly, and I say I'm not sure it's got legs, but if you want the sticker, you can get on board with that, and you still get these guys if you join this month. You can also support us on YouTube, become a YouTube channel member. Big shout out to Absolute Irwin, Alvin J, Andrew Gibo, Benjamin Hanson, Big Old Firm, Bob Dylan, CC3PO, Chris V, CT603, DJ, Daminator, Doc Smizzle, Equan, Fat Batman, Gare Bear, Good Old Spotchka, Gotham Cinebites, Justin Sports Card, LV Avenger 702, Mark Pearson, Mike Litoris, Money Mendez, OG Fan, OMFG Rick, 16 Figure Focus, Paul Schreiber, Philip the Fall, S-Beam, Sam Gist, Scarnlord, SpongeBob Squareballs, Sunny's Vale Russ, Ben Thomas Show, and Toy Mafia. Thank you all very much for supporting us. If you're a Patreon, you can become a YouTube channel member for 99 cents a month. Gets you loyalty badges, emojis, and member shout outs on the show. If you're not on the Patreon, you can still support us via YouTube. Join the Peanut Gallery for $2.99 a month, gets you the perks from the previous level and member shout-outs on the show. We have TeePublic, so if you want any merch from this show or Small Talk or Collecting Weekly or After Dark or any of those, go and check us out on TeePublic. Quite often they've got a sale on, so you get yourself a bargain, loads of logos and stuff to pick from, and we get a few crumbs from them to go towards the network, so always a good way of supporting us. And then I shall leave you, Ian, to take us through the rest of the network.
Thank you. Yeah, so this is us. This is everything we do. So you've got us, OFAC, the Jewel in the Crown, the reason we're all here, why the network even bothers to stay together. You've got Collecting Weekly,
Absolutely.
which is all about things that Zach collects on a weekly basis, bogies, toenails, things like that. You've got Small Talk, which is all of the little itty bitty things, the 1/12 and all of that jazz. I say every week they fucking manage it, because there is so much that goes on in that space. It's ridiculous.
Yeah. Great show.
Question of the I do like that one. Question of the week is a different question every single week. I'm not sure what this week's question was. Maybe it was how many Easter eggs can you eat in one sitting? I don't know. Keep it very topical.
Just worth mentioning. Obviously, if you didn't know, Brenton Palmer's kind of stepped away from the network, so he's not doing that section anymore. I think Zach and Dean have done a few, but I'm not sure if it'll be as every week now. As Brenton's not doing that, so could be question of the fortnight, question of the month, question of the year.
Yeah.
You never know, but it'll pop up here and there, I think.
Yeah, cool. We've got Ox Plays, which I think they're playing a lot of Helldivers at the moment. Pretty cool game.
Yep.
I've not played it myself, but it does look very
No,
good.
I haven't. Does look cool, yeah.
Does look good. And then you've got Bricks and Brews, which is all the Lego bits that need to be made. After Dark, which is a slightly ruder version of Collecting Weekly, I think. And then the Mind Flayer's Web, which is Baldur's Gate, which is another game that I want, but I'm just waiting for it to hit a reasonable price before I buy it. But
it's still
this
quite
is us.
expensive, isn't it? Yeah.
It is, yeah. And I think it's going to be expensive for a while because it's so good. But yeah,
I think you get a lot of value for your money, even if you're paying like 60 quid. It's hundreds of hours worth, isn't it?
Yeah, it keeps you going for a while. So this is it.
Yeah.
This is us. This is the network.
Yeah.
Enjoy.
Thanks for watching.
We do. Yeah. Thank you very, very much.
Yeah. Always good to have you. And thanks for the chat and everything. And we'll see you back probably in a month's time.
Yeah. Catch you later. Bye.
Cool.